fly healthy.
What's special about Second Date Update today, Jen?
It is an happy ending second date update, which means at the end of it, I'm going to ask you a question about the date, and you're going to answer it on our app and maybe win yourself $100.
Second Date Updates don't always end with a happy ending, though.
No, they don't. And it's kind of disappointing. So we're doing our best to make it an happy ending for you.
So whether there's a second date or not,
Right.
one way or another, there will be an happy ending.
Yes.
And yesterday, Jessica Schaefer of Cincinnati, Ohio, she is our $100 winner for the happy ending from yesterday.
Congratulations.
I know. She
Way
got
to
it- she got
go.
the answer correct.
So Jen will ask the question after Second Date Update airs, so pay attention. Andrew is looking for a Second Date Update this morning with Lisa. Hey, Andrew.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing
Good.
great. Thanks for asking. How can we help?
So I've got this thing that's nagging me. I went out with this girl, and I thought she was super cool. Like, I felt we connected, and there was potential there, but now she's not responding to any of my messages, and I just cannot figure it out.
Okay. Was there any dialogue after the first date? Have you gone on more than one date?
Well, kind of twice. So I met her at the E-Bar, and she walked, like, right up to me and started a conversation. Like, she initiated everything. And so we hung out for a while there, and she gave me her number, and I texted her later that same night and said, hey, would you like to meet up with me the next day for coffee? And so she said, yeah. And so we met up at Starbucks, and we sat and we talked for like an hour. Everything was good. All the signs were there that she was having a good time to me, and I'm pretty good at reading people, you know, and didn't pick up on anything weird. I didn't say anything, you know, step on my own foot. And she hugged me goodbye. And again, you know, she initiated that. And that's what I don't get. Like, this was her idea. She gave me her number. She hugged me. She was totally into it. And now here we are. I'm getting nothing back from her. And I just want to know what's up. Like, I've texted her a few times and absolutely nothing back.
Yeah, in those instances where someone takes the initiative, maybe they're the aggressor, they show interest, and then they go from hot to cold. It's like, oh, wait, hey, that's not how this works.
Time out.
You're supposed to be into me.
Yeah, you started it.
Right. It's just very confusing.
I get it. Yeah, and you've gone over this 1,000 times in your head, and you're like, I don't think I misstepped. I don't think I said anything stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you don't usually hug goodbye somebody that you never want to see again. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe that was the goodbye.
Maybe that's
hug.
the farewell hug.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that's, I'm wishing you all the best.
But did she leave you with the impression that she was hoping, hey, let's do this again? Oh, my God, this was great.
I don't know if it was that enthusiastic, but it was certainly open to possibility, I felt like.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't feel like a cold goodbye, that's for sure.
Right. Huh.
So,
Okay.
I don't know.
Anything else you can think of that might help shed some light, some clues?
No. I mean, like, the topics were, you know, we didn't sometimes I could be a little too flirty and risque sometimes, but we didn't hit any topics like that. It was very lighthearted and, you know.
So you
fun.
weren't inappropriate in any way.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
We were just talking about that recently, how everybody has different lines of appropriate, inappropriate. Where does that line fall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we take a break? When we come back, Andrew, we're just going to call her up, get some feedback from her, see what's been going on with her, if there's any chance of getting together again. That's what Second Date Update is all about. And it continues next on Cincinnati's Q102.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
When it comes to windows, doors, roofing, siding, and gutters, I'm a fan of Universal Windows Direct. And right now, when you buy one window, you'll get one free. Check out uwdsouthwestohio.com or call 513-755-1800.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
All right, so Andrew met Lisa the old-fashioned way. They met at a bar. How great is that?
Nice.
I like that this is coming back, by the way. You know, the
People
apps.
meeting in person.
Yep, it's pretty great.
Yeah, and then she just started talking to him. Well, that was easy.
A woman going after what she thinks she might want.
Yeah. So she gave him her number. They hooked up for coffee the next day at Starbucks. They talked for like an hour. She hugged him goodbye. Seemingly everything is great. There's no guarantee or promise of let's do this again, but he's tried to reach out since, and there's been no response, and that's left him pretty confused because she just kind of came on so strong, you know?
Yes. It's like I was minding my own business, and she just kind of came up to me, and now this ghost situation is troubling. I just don't get it.
Here I am, minding my own business with no one.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I was glad she took the initiative. She's definitely attractive, and I felt like we had a good rapport. I felt like there was good chemistry there. So
I mean, most men do dig that, don't they? When a woman takes the initiative.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes, it took out a lot of questioning for me, I thought, but now I have double the questions, so I don't know.
All right, well, let's call her up and see what she's willing to offer up here.
That'd be great.
Hello.
Hello, Lisa.
Yes, this
Hi.
is Lisa.
How you doing? It's Jeff, Jen, Fritch, and Tim at Q102.
Hi.
Morning.
Hi.
Oh, man. I'm pretty sure I know what this is about. So you tell me if this is weird or not. And if you say no, I will totally reconsider. Like,
Oh, I like it. It's a game.
Oh, I like this. Okay.
yeah, I mean,
The court of weird is in session.
Because we know weird.
I also like that we get to be the judge. Like, it's one time that we're allowed to be judgy.
All right, Lisa, you may begin with your first witness.
okay. So everything was going pretty good. Like, to be honest, I wasn't like blown away with him, but also I thought there could be potential. I've definitely been out with way worse. And, you can't really tell what a person's like until you've gone out with them a few times, so he was definitely a solid maybe. And then I hugged him. And when I pulled away from the hug, he stuck his finger in my belly button. Like, he rubbed my belly until he found my belly button, and then he put his finger into it.
He's stuck.
Was your belly button exposed?
No, it was under my shirt. He had to find it to do this.
So this
And I
was
was
completely intentional.
It had to have. I assume, maybe I'm wrong. We can, hear what he has to say, but it felt very, very like he was looking for it.
Well,
but
that's so weird.
he
Did you
said-
ask him about it in the moment?
Oh, definitely. I was like, hey, man, you just put your finger in my belly button. And he was just like, oh, I like belly buttons. Okay, sure. Fine. But it just was super weird. And then he was like, I'll call you later. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Pretty funny. I like belly buttons, and I'll call you later.
So he just kind of wrote it off real nonchalant, like no big deal, like, okay.
Yeah,
And that was it.
he seemed like it was the most normal thing in the world to do. And
Okay.
I think that was part of what felt so weird about it, is like it did not feel normal to me. And it seemed like that was just something everyone does in his life. And I was just like, what's happening? What am I getting into?
All right.
He's like this. Boop. See you later.
Okay. Hey.
Was there anything else weird?
No, I mean, everything was fine up until that moment, but I just like, who does that? Like, and why? Is that like a fetish that I don't know about maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
I'd
did
like to
not
know the
fit.
answer to that. We have Andrew on the line. Andrew, tell us about the belly button thing. Besides that you just like belly buttons, what's driving that?
All right. Well, it's not a fetish. Let's get that out of the way. I get freaked out by outie belly buttons. I don't know why.
You're freaked out by outies?
Yeah, I needed to make sure she didn't have one, and that was my window.
Oh, my
She went for
God.
the hug. Well, if I had initiated the hug and then did it, it would be really weird, right?
Yes, because it wasn't weird when you didn't initiate it at
Yeah,
all.
right.
Well,
Would have been weirder
Well,
if he would have went in for the hug, and as he's going in for the hug, the finger poke at the same time.
Well, that just would have
that
been
would
weird.
have been weird.
I feel like there's a way to work it in conversation in the first few hours of you guys going out on a date.
Work into the belly button conversation.
That's way easier to do than jabbing your finger in someone's
Did you think you were being
Stomach.
nonchalant enough about it that maybe she wouldn't notice? Was that kind of the goal?
I was trying, and to bring it up in conversation, it's like, yeah, that's a deal killer immedially. What if she says, yes, I have an Audi belly button, and then I'm like, oh, you're a hideous monster that belongs in a carnival.
Check, please.
I need to
Dude, what
go.
is your issue with Audi belly buttons? Like, what's happening?
Don't know. I've discussed this with my therapist. They've just always freaked me out. That's all. I just don't want to rub my hand over a woman's stomach and hit like a bump. I don't like that feeling when I'm on top or on the bottom.
Right.
I just don't want to feel it. It's distracting and it freaks me out.
Hang up.
You should just lead with that. Just say, I'm sorry, miss, I'm going to have to see your belly button before we proceed any further.
I mean,
Well, I mean, the gold lining here is that she doesn't have to worry about it because she doesn't have one. So
You must be so relieved, Lisa.
You have no idea.
I don't think I've ever run my hand over someone's stomach that had an Audi. Does it feel like is it like a weird
Oh, it sticks
bump
out.
Yeah, I know it sticks out, but I mean, is it a weird feeling to be rubbing along a belly and then have like a little bump poking out there? Or
God, yes.
I guess it depends on who you are. Yeah.
some people are into it. I can remember you loved it when every time Kelly Ripa would be pregnant because her belly, she would have like this big old, it was like this third nipple thing happening.
Her Audi?
In the middle
Yeah.
of her belly.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can we stop talking about this? This is really bothering me.
Wow. All right. Well,
I don't know
everybody's
if
got
this
their
is a
thing.
deal breaker, though. What do you guys think? Is this a deal breaker?
Not for me. But what if she doesn't have an Audi and then she gets pregnant and it pops out? Because that sometimes happens.
The innie becomes an Audi.
Oh, yeah. And you have no control over that
Then
at
what
all.
do you do? I'll see you in 9 months.
It usually
When it's
goes
over,
back. Yeah.
How about if they put a Band-Aid over it?
It still has the bump.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough.
Yeah, you would need like a whole a pack,
Like a paper mache to smooth it out.
or like a band, like a whole bandage with some gauze underneath.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So where do we stand, Lise?
I mean, I feel like I'm going to leave it in your hands, guys. Like,
Oh, man,
is it-
she did say.
Oh, it's up to us.
There was something about him that attracted you in the first place to just walk up to him and start talking and give him your phone number. So
Yeah,
the
he's
belly
hot.
button aside,
Was everything great outside of the belly button thing? If he wouldn't have done the belly button thing, would we even be here today?
Probably not. Yeah. I mean, like, it was definitely something where I was like, all right, I'm going to see where this goes. You know, again, like, he was definitely in that maybe category. I wasn't blown away, but was interested in getting to know him better. So,
I mean, you're fine.
I'm not blown away.
You're okay.
What if he promises
You're
to
not
keep his,
awful.
his hands away from your stomach if you go out again?
Is there anything else you're going to want to be sticking a finger in that, in places where fingers maybe don't naturally go? Or
Ears,
could you at
nose.
least agree that if you're going to stick your finger in something, you ask her first?
Yeah.
Well, that's been a previous second date update as well. So,
I don't know, guys. What do you think? You think they should do it again?
yes.
I don't know.
Well, you didn't sound like you were all that into him in the first place. So
That's kind of what I'm
kinda
Jeff's
leaning
voting
no.
no.
I'm voting no.
So if I vote yes, then we've got a tie. And if I vote yes,
Yeah.
then you have to decide. The ball's back in your court.
I don't know. It just was weird. And I think maybe this is not the guy for me.
This is a no. All right.
Sorry, Andrew, but
why force it?
Yep.
Yeah. Same.
I get it. All right.
Sorry, Andrew.
Well,
Sorry, Andrew.
I appreciate you checking, and I felt like there was a lot of potential, but all right.
We get it.
Well, she's got your number. She changes her mind.
Yep.
And our first second date update into the Naval Department.
Yep. All
Well,
right.
thanks for trying.
Yeah.
Anytime. Best of luck to you both.
thank you.
All right. Let's try to give away $100. This is how it works. Going to ask you a question. You take the answer. You go to the Q102 app. You enter it into the Appy endings, and you're qualified for $100. So
That's
here we go.
fun.
I know. It's so easy. So here's the question. Where did Andrew and Lisa meet? Where did they meet? Where did they meet?
Okay.
It's a one-word answer. Just go to the app, get yourself qualified, and we'll announce the winner tomorrow morning.
All right, it's 17 after 8 o'clock. Jeff and Jen, Cincinnati's Q102.
Do you know what today is?
It's National Selfie Day.
Just take a selfie and email it to me.
I got an Aussie. You know, back where I'm from, we call those selfies. Well, it's not myself, yeah. It's us. Then a Aussie.
That's not a selfie. Someone else took that photo.
It was a selfie.
Yeah, selfie.
Selfie. And post. Looky here. It's showtime, folks.
Yeah, it's not just the first day of summer. It's also National Selfie Day, Fritch's other favorite day.
Yes.
But the fact that it coincides with her birthday.
I love all these things happening today. The longest day of the year. You get to take selfies. It's my birthday.
That's right.
And lots of cake.
And the birthday greetings are rolling in.
Ooh, what'd we get?
Happy birthday to you.
All right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Fritchie. Happy birthday to you.
Wow. Serenade.
Put your
that's nice.
seatbelt on, sir.
Thank you so
Time
much.
to get gas. That was cool.
That's fun.
That was on our app. So if you go to the WKRQ app and you click through there, there's a way you can contact us. And you can send us little messages like that, or you can send us emails. You can call the request line directly. It's in the feedback portion
So many
of the Q&A
fun
app.
things you can do.
Well, we're in an audio business, so it's kind of fun to hear the audio clips that people send.
Especially the background and when they're, yelling at the guy, you just cut him off. What else? Yeah, so this is something that came up earlier. The World Cup this year is being held in Qatar, where sex outside of marriage is banned. And when I say banned, this is an authoritarian society where it's illegal.
So if you get caught, you're in trouble with the law.
Off
you
with
can get
your head.
arrested, right? Or caned or stoned or God knows what.
So are drinking and partying. I mean, what a buzzkill.
This does not sound like a fun place to have the World Cup.
Not really.
No, imagine if they put the Super Bowl there.
Yeah, but remember how fun it is to watch the World Cup? I mean, just on television, all of the fans just get crazy. That's where the Vuvuzela came from years ago. It's always awesome. They're chanting and singing and jumping.
I'm
and the
so
music is great.
surprised that they would even put the games.
There's got to be
there in
I just
Qatar.
think there's a ton of money invested.
Somebody paid.
Yeah. And they wanted to be part of it, and they're just going to have to grin and bear it. But, yeah, sex is banned unless you're married. But extramarital sex is a crime in Qatar, punishable by up to 7 years in prison. And drinking and partying are also prohibited.
What is wrong with these people? They have no willpower. I once went 28 years without having sex. And then again for 7 years.
So Michael might be okay.
Yeah, he might make it.
The World Cup tournament kicks off in November.